Welcome back to another daily reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We're in the midst of this 20-part series on the major and minor themes of the Bhagavad Gita, the world's most famous poem. And today's reflection is on the major theme within the Gita, on the immortality of the soul. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are not your intellect. That is what we are told by this timeless 5,000 plus year old philosophy. Let's just focus on one of those. You are not your body. Now, many traditions around the world have this concept. In the West, with Christianity, Judaism, Islam, it's front and center. You have a soul that is separate from this temporal body. But even though it's front and center in that worldview, it's still so hard, near impossible for us to believe. There is something that is me besides this me. Here is an example. Let's take your hand. Is your hand you? Well, in some ways you can identify with it. Someone throws something at your hand, you pull it away because you identify with it. You would feel that pain if it hit it hard enough. But if I chop off my hand, I'm still me, right? When does that fingernail go from me to being clipped, falling on the ground, and it's no longer me? And one of the Upanishads takes it further back to where then you get to your mind. And within your mind, you have a thought. But you can observe that thought. And the Upanishad is very clear in saying the subject and object cannot be the same thing. What is being observed and what is doing the observing, by definition, are not the same thing. If you can observe it, then it is not what is doing the observing. So observing your thoughts. If you close your eyes and you sing a song, let's say the happy birthday song. You sing it in your head. In fact, do it right now. Take 10 seconds and sing the happy birthday song to yourself in your head. Who is doing the listening to that song? The observer of our thoughts. You take it even to the intellect, that equipment that decides, judges, discerns what should you do in a certain situation. You can even observe that discernment happening. You can watch that judgment taking place. You can receive that judgment of what you should do. And who is receiving that? That is who you are. Not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. Not that which is aware of anything. We are told that awareness itself, that is who we are. Often called pure awareness or pure consciousness, called reality, called the vast. Brahman is Sanskrit for the word vast. So the word for the supreme in Vedanta, Brahman, just means the vast. We're told that's who we actually are. Not this James character, not this you character that we think, that we have cultivated an identity around, like my fingernails or my hand, but who we truly are. And that independence from the body, the mind, the intellect, we're told in the Gita, is immortal. Sheds an old body like an old pair of clothes. And Krishna tells Arjuna that he's so struck with grief of what could happen in this great battle. And Krishna is so succinct in his clarity and wisdom. And our charioteer says, "You have been grieving for those that need not be grieved. The wise grieve neither for the living or the dead. Never indeed was I not or you, and none of us will cease to be hereafter." That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. And tomorrow, let's see, which one are we going over tomorrow? We've got, this is a great practical one. Tomorrow's reflection is on the major theme of righteousness and ethics within the Gita, within this fun little dialogue between the warrior prince and his charioteer. So we'll see you then. This is the Daily Vedantic. Thanks for listening to the Daily Vedantic. This reflection is part of a free repeating 2-year course in Advaita Vedanta. Rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Upanishads, arguably the oldest philosophical texts on earth, you can begin with episode 1, which gives the 15-minute overview of the whole philosophy of Vedanta, or you can join the journey with any episode at any point. But the critical aspect of this course, of understanding and mastering anything, is to study and reflect, even for 10 to 15 minutes on the timeless each day, preferably at the start of your day. As is said in this philosophy, reflection is 100,000 times as powerful as listening. So listen, journal, sit with, discuss these concepts, or ask questions at thedailyvedantic.com with our AI-powered chatbot, informed by about 700 episodes here, as regularly as one can, if you want to see clarity and peace almost effortlessly unfold in your daily life. And if it doesn't result in a near immediate increase in clarity and peace, then toss aside and feel free to never listen again. One of the things that you might notice is after 7 or 8 days in a row, this doesn't feel like a discipline. This feels like a visit with a best friend to dive into the timeless with daily reflection. Within a few days, it becomes one of your favorite parts of the day. You can also find out more, including news about in-person events in Los Angeles and beyond, at the Daily Vedantic on Instagram, or through our weekly newsletter at thedailyvedantic.com. Additionally, check out the links in our show notes for more resources like the books that are mentioned most frequently in the episodes, including Vedanta Treatise, perhaps the simplest and most straightforward read on this philosophy I've ever come across. Until next time, and from the entire team that works on the Daily Vedantic project, thanks for listening.